Now this, looking for a job at the Republican National Committee? You better come prepared. Current and potential staffers at the RNC have been asked if they believe the 2020 election was stolen. That's according to two sources familiar with the questioning. This is happening amid a Trump-orchestrated makeover of the Republican National Committee. Handpicked North Carolina GOP Chairman Michael Whatley, taking over as chair, and Trump's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, serving as co-chair. Trump advisors have described the current relationship between the Trump campaign and the RNC as a symbiotic one. Joining us now is CNN political commentator and the host of CNN's Smerconish, Michael Smerconish. Michael, I'm loving this Friday tradition that we have. It's great to have you on the show. Let's talk about this RNC. I mean, is it appropriate for them to be asking people are they using as a litmus test this question of whether or not they think the election was stolen?
You know, by the way, I feel likewise. Thank you for having me. Critical thinking exercises, they're common, especially among big tech and among the financial houses. This doesn't feel like a critical thinking exercise, which is the way that they've tried to respond to some of the inquiry about it. No, to me, like you've just said, it feels more like a litmus test. And Kasie, I think the bigger issue here is that it exhibits this continued resistance on the part of the RNC, Republicans writ large, Donald Trump, to early voting and mail voting. In other words, if they're questioning potential employees at the RNC, do you think the election was stolen? How likely is it that they're going to embrace early voting in states like Arizona and Georgia, where I think it's necessary to be competitive? And that's the real problem. There's a growing tension, I think, between what needs to be done in the field and hanging on to the idea that the election of 2020 was stolen.
Yeah, Michael, I mean, we've seen Lara Trump, the incoming co-chair, get up in front of microphones and say to people, embrace early voting. But you've seen the former president at campaign stops, I don't have it to hand, but we've played it on the show before, raising questions about it yet again, to your point. That seems counterproductive if you're Republicans wanting to win elections, no?
It looks like in this cycle, more than half of Americans are going to vote early. I mean, take a look at the Commission on Presidential Debates. I don't know, Kasie, if there will be debates this cycle. I hope there will be, but they've already established the dates. And if you look at the calendar they've established, they pushed them forward in a way like we've never seen before. Why? Because by the time likely debates of the past have taken place, most Americans, or not most, but many Americans have already voted. It's really becoming more and more ingrained. So like the RNC has got to embrace the idea that people want to vote early in the process, and many of them want to vote by mail. So if you're asking your new hires, was the election stolen? Maybe they aren't new hires who are going to adapt to the times.
Yeah. Michael, speaking of the RNC, I know you've also been thinking about the implications for trust in media among kind of a wide range of the American public in terms of what's going on with Ronna McDaniel. What is your take on that?
So I've been under the impression that Donald Trump was the one who wanted her out. And I find it interesting now that Republicans are rallying around Ronna McDaniel as being the victim in the whole brouhaha with NBC. I think they're getting great mileage out of it thus far, so much so now that the RNC is saying perhaps we won't welcome NBC at the convention. Kasie, I don't think they can do that. I don't think it's solely their call as to what media sources might get in to cover the convention, but it just shows that this is a story with legs, and now it's being used for political mileage.
Yeah, no, it's not their call. And also, you're really going to give up an entire broadcast network for your candidate's convention speech heading into a competitive election. I have some questions about that. Michael, one of the other things we've been talking about this morning is obviously the way that the Trump campaign and the cover of the New York Post are framing what we saw in New York yesterday, this kind of glitzy fundraiser with three presidents on the stage, Stephen Colbert, lots of Hollywood stars, versus Donald Trump attending the wake for the slain police officer in New York. And, I can't help but thinking also, we just did a little read on the fact that college costs are now, there are some Northeastern universities, the tab for it is like $90,000, which seems to underscore to me just how out of reach that kind of thing feels for so many Americans. I'm just curious how you think about this increasing cultural divide in America.
Right. And it's amazing the point you're making. I was just looking at the cover of the New York Post, which has this split screen on, four presidents in Manhattan, in New York City for the same day. The cost of college is crazy. And it's amazing to me how much attention, and by the way, I'm guilty as charged. I've played this on my own behalf and for all of our kids. So much attention gets focused on a handful of elite Northeastern universities where the costs, as you point out, are insane, approaching $100,000 a year. Who can afford that? Very few among us. And yet the real story is one of declining enrollment lower in the echelon of the ranking of colleges. And I think many in this era of intellectualism, which is what you're referring to, are now questioning the value of an education. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that as all the attention is heaped at the top, those schools which offer great educations but are lower rated, less ranked, are struggling. And that's the real issue here.
Right. And it's important because it's those kinds of places. And I mean, community colleges. I will say you hear a lot of Democrats in Washington talk all the time about community college and community college access, and how and also trade programs and other things that people have less access to or which are also struggling. Michael Smerconish, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. Everyone needs to watch him tomorrow, 9 a.m. Saturday, right here on CNN. Hope to see you next week.